Your child is one of them? 5 physical signs you're raising a hybrid child. Look at your child right now. Really look. Because what you're about to discover could completely change the way you see that child. Thousands of parents around the world already know the truth. They live with it every day. And maybe you're next. There are 5 unmistakable physical signs. Signs that the scientific community tries to ignore. Signs that governments don't want you to know about. But the data is here. The evidence is real. And if your child displays 3 or more of these signs, you need to pay attention to what comes next. In the next few minutes, you're going to discover information that's been hidden for decades. I'm going to reveal the 5 physical signs that identify hybrid children living among us. I'm not talking about theories. I'm talking about characteristics documented by researchers who've dedicated their lives to this. Characteristics that thousands of families have already identified in their own children. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why this hybridization program is happening right now, at this exact moment in human history. Before I reveal the 5 signs, you need to understand the context. Since the 1960s, researchers like David Jacobs from Temple University have been documenting something extraordinary. Women around the world report mysterious pregnancies that disappear after 3 months. Medical exams confirm the pregnancy. And then, without explanation, the fetus simply vanishes. No miscarriage, no bleeding, nothing. Doctors are confused. Women are devastated. But the truth is even more disturbing. These fetuses didn't disappear. They were removed, taken to facilities where development continues under conditions the human womb cannot provide. And when these children are born, they come back, not to the ships, but to live here, among us, in ordinary families. And they carry unmistakable physical markers. But wait, this is just the beginning. Because in 2025, something revolutionary happened. A genetic study analyzed data from families using commercial DNA tests like 23andMe. Researchers found something impossible to explain through normal human genetics. Insertions of up to 16,000 base pairs in chromosomes. Genetic material that didn't come from either parent. And the precision of these insertions indicates technology beyond human capabilities at the time these children were conceived. Now then, let's get to the 5 physical signs. And pay close attention because each of these signs has been documented in hundreds of cases. First sign, the skull. Hybrid children are born with a cranium visibly larger than the human average. It's not a medical condition. It's a deliberate characteristic. Why? Because these children need to accommodate expanded brain capacity. In the early years of life, you might notice the head seems disproportionate to the body. Doctors may even express concern. But as the child grows, this proportion adjusts. What doesn't adjust is the extraordinary intellectual capacity that comes with that larger skull. Research shows that children with larger heads at birth consistently demonstrate superior IQ and greater success in adult life. But the larger skull isn't random. It's the first indicator that something different is happening in this child's development. Second sign, the eyes. If you look into the eyes of a hybrid child, you feel something different. The eyes are remarkably large, disproportionate to the face, especially in the early years. But it's not just the size, it's the intensity. It's like these eyes can see beyond, like they penetrate deeper. Parents of hybrids consistently report this disturbing feeling that their child is seeing through them, reading thoughts, detecting lies instantly. And there's a reason for this. These larger eyes aren't just physical, they're the external manifestation of expanded visual and perceptual abilities. Vision that captures spectrums beyond normal human range. Perception that processes information at levels we can't even imagine. And here's something that will make you reconsider everything. Remember the classic descriptions of aliens? Enormous eyes, large heads. Now you understand why. They're not alien features. They're features they're transferring to the hybrids. So these children can function among us, but with their capabilities. Third sign, and this is where many parents start to realize something is different. The hair. Hybrid children have notably thin and sparse hair, especially on the body. While other children develop fine hair on their arms and legs, hybrids remain practically hairless on their bodies. The hair on their head grows, yes, but it's thinner, more sparse, and in many cases, uniformly black. It's not a medical condition like alopecia. It's simply fewer hair follicles, less body hair, a characteristic that makes them closer to the visitor's physiology. Think about it. Gray aliens are always described as completely hairless. Hybrids represent an intermediate stage. They have enough hair to pass as human, but not enough to be fully human. Now the next two signs are where it becomes really impossible to ignore, because they're not just characteristics you see, they're characteristics you measure, that you feel, that completely alter how these children interact with the physical world around them. Fourth sign, body temperature. Grab a thermometer. Measure your child's temperature at different times of day. If they're a hybrid, you'll notice something consistent. Their temperature is lower than the human average of 97 to 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. It might be subtle, half a degree, a full degree, but it's consistent. These children are literally colder. They feel cold easily. They constantly seek warmth, extra blankets, warmer clothes, longer hugs. It's not weakness. It's not just sensitivity to cold. It's a fundamental physiological difference in their thermoregulation system. And there's a reason for this. The visitors come from different environments. Their biology operates at different temperatures. When they create hybrids, this characteristic persists. It's one of the marks that cannot be completely masked by human genetics. But wait, because the fifth sign is the most disturbing of all, and it's what confirms we're not talking about normal genetic variations. We're talking about something designed, something intentional, something that only makes sense when you accept that there's an active program happening right now. Fifth sign, extreme electromagnetic sensitivity. Hybrid children react abnormally to electromagnetic and electrical fields. Put one of these children near powerful electronic equipment, transmission towers, or even certain types of lighting. You'll see immediate discomfort, headaches, nausea, inability to concentrate. Their thought processes literally become interrupted by the presence of these fields. And it's not psychological, it's neurological. Why does this happen? Because these children's nervous systems operate on different frequencies. They're more sensitive, more tuned in. And in a world increasingly filled with electromagnetic radiation from cell phones, Wi-Fi, and transmission towers, these children suffer in ways that normal human children don't. But here's what's really scary. This sensitivity isn't a flaw, it's a feature, because these children also demonstrate telepathic abilities. They know things they shouldn't know. They feel emotions from distant people. They have dreams that later prove true. And all of this is connected to how their brains process energy fields and information that are completely invisible to normal humans. Now you know the 5 physical signs: larger skull, large penetrating eyes, sparse thin hair, reduced body temperature, extreme electromagnetic sensitivity. If your child displays 3 or more of these signs, you need to seriously consider what this means. But the real question isn't whether these children exist. The real question is why. Why is a hybridization program happening now? And the answer will completely change your perspective on humanity's future. According to Professor Young-Hae Chi from Oxford University, who studied this phenomenon extensively, the visitors are creating hybrids as protection against climate change. Earth is facing an unprecedented environmental crisis. And maybe, just maybe, the visitors know that pure humanity won't survive what's coming. So they're creating a better version, more adaptable, more resilient, more capable of surviving the conditions that are approaching. For David Jacobs, the historian who dedicated decades researching abductions, has a different and much more disturbing theory. He believes the visitors are gradually replacing us, not with invasion, not with war, but with slow and silent integration. Each generation, more hybrids are born. Each generation, they look more like humans, until eventually there will be no visible difference. But genetically, neurologically, humanity will have been transformed into something new. Facilities have been seen. Abductees report visits to enormous nurseries where thousands of hybrid fetuses develop in tanks. Rooms filled with hybrid children at various stages of development. And it's not just a few children, it's thousands, tens of thousands. A program operating on a global scale for at least 6 decades. Human mothers are taken to these facilities, forced to hold and emotionally nurture these hybrid children. Why? Because the visitors recognized something critical. They can create the genetics, they can create the body, but they cannot create the human emotional connection. These children need human contact, human love, something only human mothers can give. And that's why abductees are repeatedly taken to interact with children who are genetically theirs, but whom they can never take home. Until now. Because the new phase of the program is different. Now the hybrids are being born here, growing up in ordinary human families. going to normal schools, living apparently normal lives, except for the signs. The 5 signs you just learned. And there's more. These children aren't just physically different, they're intellectually superior. IQ consistently above 140. Abilities in mathematics, sciences, arts that emerge without formal training. As if the knowledge were pre-programmed. As if they were accessing information from some external source that the rest of us cannot reach. But with all this intelligence comes a cost. These children are profoundly lonely. They don't connect easily with other children. They feel different, isolated, misunderstood, because they are. They're trapped between 2 worlds. Too human to be fully alien, too alien to be fully human. If you're a parent of one of these children, you already know something is different. You've always known. That persistent feeling that your child isn't like other children. That intuition that there's something special, something unique, something inexplicable. You're not crazy. You're right. And here's the final revelation that will change everything. In January 2025, a published study analyzed the DNA of families who self-identified as possible abductees. Researchers found irrefutable genetic evidence, insertions of genetic material that cannot be explained by normal parental inheritance, more than 200 non-parental alleles in specific chromosome regions. And most shocking, 2 completely unrelated families showed identical insertions at the exact same point on chromosome 3. This is not coincidence. This is design. This is technology. This is a systematic program of human genetic modification happening right now. The researchers concluded that the precision needed for these insertions was beyond human capabilities at the time these children were conceived, and they used common commercial DNA tests. Tests anyone can do, which means you can verify. You can test your child, and if the signs are there, the DNA will confirm. The evidence is no longer anecdotal. It's no longer just testimonies from abductees. It's genetic, it's measurable, it's scientific, and it's happening on a scale that doubles every decade according to the most recent estimates. So what do you do with this information? First, observe. Really observe your child. Are all 5 signs there? If they are, you're not alone. There are thousands of families around the world living this reality every day. Second, document. Write down the characteristics, the unusual abilities, the moments when your child demonstrates knowledge they shouldn't have, because these children are special, and they may be the key to our species' future. If you want to know more about the 49 alien races involved in this hybridization program, subscribe to this channel right now. In the next video, I'll reveal which specific races are creating which types of hybrids, and the differences between them will surprise you.